All right. Hello, Professor Almanza.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Well, I just want to know, for your
Guardian ad litem?
yes, guardian ad litem. I just want to know how long have you been working in this position for?
I started out 2 years ago.
2 years.
So I've been on a case for 2 years now.
Okay. And how did you land this position?
Actually, I was at a luncheon, an attorney luncheon, and there was a booth where they were telling us about the different guardian ad litem volunteer opportunities. It was something that I had heard about in law school, but because I wasn't an attorney yet, I couldn't really do it. But when I was there, they had several brochures, and we talked about it, and they told me how they are in desperate need of guardian ad litems, that they only had 20 more kids to go for the year, and they really needed guardian ad litems for them, and so I signed up for it.
Oh, okay. How do you really like the kids? Are the kids great?
You know, I've only dealt with one family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been dealing with one family for the past 2 years. I recently got an extension for my contract because my contract's only for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I recently got an extension, and my kids they ranged from a year to 4 years old at the time.
Mm-hmm.
My kids are now older, obviously, 2 years older. But, I'm sorry, I forgot the question.
It's okay. How did you land?
Oh no, the kids.
Sorry.
How
Yeah.
how are the kids? So when we first got the kids, they were extremely young. The baby was a year old, but he didn't move because he was pretty much strapped to the bed, and he wasn't allowed to move. So a 1-year-old should be able to walk, should be able to crawl. He just laid on his back and just stared up, and so that was scary. So I was very scared for his health. I thought he would have several health issues. One of the girls, her problem was she was 4, but she was taking care of a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old. So her job was to feed them. Her job was to take care of them. She wouldn't go to sleep until they were both asleep first, and then she would always fold their clothes for them and just do things that 4-year-olds should be playing with Barbies. They should not be, taking care of and being responsible for 2 other children. So, are they good kids? They come from a really messed up background. I remember when I first met one of the kids, she just raised her shirt and showed me the cigarette burns on her stomach. As a sign of first of all, I trust you, and then second of all, look what happened to me. So right now, they're great kids, but it took a while to get them to that point because they were acting out, because they were fearful. When kids are afraid, they act certain ways, but once they were stabilized, their problem was they didn't live a stable life. So once they were stabilized, then they realized that they had a schedule and that they go to school and that an adult takes care of them and people don't hurt them. Then once that happened, I think they were able to stabilize with their behavior as well. At first they were hitting other people and stuff because that's what they saw at home. So now they know you can't hit people, that's not nice, don't take stuff away from people, it's not nice. They're more like children now, like normal children now.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you were talking about that, you knew them since they were really young.
Mm-hmm.
So that means what you do is that you take care of them until they're ready to be on their own.
Well, what happens in these cases is that we're given a case, all right, and the case pretty much says this child was neglected or this child was abused. And so this case is actually going before the court where mom is being prosecuted for abandonment or neglect of the child, or dad, whoever is involved. And at this point, the charges have been filed. If anyone had to go to the jail, they went to jail. The guardian ad litem, their job, okay, so once that happens with mom and dad, the court builds, or the attorneys and the case managers, they build a case plan for mom and dad, okay? It's very difficult to terminate parental rights. They don't just take the kids away and say, you are no longer a parent. There's a whole legal process to it. So, in some cases, most cases we want to return, we want to try to reunify the kids with mom and dad. But that's not always possible. So we set up a plan. We say, Mom, you have to go to, the rehab center. You also have to take these therapy classes. You have to be able to provide income for the children. You have to be able to provide a house, a safe house for the children. So there are different things that the parents have to do. It's called a case plan. And sometimes it's set for 6 months, sometimes it's set for 3 months, a year. For me personally, for my case, Dad has not been following through with the case plan. So Dad's, in my view, he's out. But Mom has been trying. But she was living with an abusive boyfriend. So the first year, it was us trying to figure out her situation, and then finally she let him go. And when she let him go, she didn't have a place to stay. So she went from shelter to shelter to shelter, and we couldn't exactly reunify because she didn't have a stable place. So we ended up, now she has a job, so she has income. Now she has a place. She's staying somewhere. She's gone through all the classes. She's done the drug test. She's done, all this stuff. So she's almost completing her case plan. Once she completes her case plan, then the kids go back to her. But in the meantime, my job is to say, okay, she has a place. We've done a home study, and it's positive, meaning that, the house is fit for kids. And, Mom's not stable yet. She's not completely stable yet. But we're going to allow the kids to stay at her house for overnight visits, weekend visits, or long, extended stays, just for us to see if things are okay when they're with her. So that's what's been happening. That's why mine took so long, because, it took Mom such a long time to get back on her feet. So we stay in the case plan until Mom is better, and then we give the kids back. But sometimes the parents don't get better. Sometimes the parents are either on drugs and they just fail the drug tests over and over and over again, and then the kids just kind of go into foster care, or relatives take them in, so all sorts of different things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it really hard to see all this?
At first, yes. When I first started, I was shocked at what I was seeing. I couldn't believe it, and it made me angry, and it made me sad. But I think later on, it really made me feel like I was helping them. So the feeling of reward was so much greater than the feeling of sadness. So it totally made up for it. And now it's not so bad anymore. I hate saying that, it doesn't feel bad, because I feel like I've been desensitized, but I don't think that's what it is. I think now I understand that I'm helping them, that I might be their only hope. So for me, the good outweighs the bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when you help kids, so you also help the parents too?
That's not in my job description, okay? But sometimes by helping the parents, you're helping the kids.
Okay.
So for me, Mom's trying really hard, and I know that she will finish her case plan. I'm pretty sure she's going to finish her case plan. So for me, I want to develop a good relationship with Mom, so that even after the case is over, I would like to continue to see the kids. But even after that, I kind of want, I don't know, it's just, you kind of want to hold on to the case. So, for me, yeah, what was the question again? I'm sorry, I kind of got lost in that.
I didn't write this question down.
Okay.
How do We got this. About the parents, I think it was.
Yeah, do I help the parents?
Yes.
So that's what it is. I kind of, I started to help Mom out, and not because I had to, but and I wasn't helping her out, in any way that, wasn't legal.
Mhm.
I was helping her out in a way that I wanted her to feel comfortable with me, because if she felt comfortable with me, she would be open and honest about the kids. And if she was open and honest about the kids, then I would have a better idea of what's going on, when I'm not there.
Mhm.
And I want her to call me if something bad happens when I'm not there,
Mhm.
So I've sort of developed that, and sometimes I'll give Mom advice, because Mom sometimes will say things and I'm like, that's not how it is. You have to do this, or you probably should think about doing this. So I think inadvertently you end up helping the parents,
Mhm.
but it's not in your job description. So your job description is to focus on the kids, but it's very difficult sometimes to draw that line, because the kids and the parents sometimes are so intertwined that you're kind of doing both.
Wow, yeah.
So it really depends on the case.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what is something that you least like about the job?
I mean, I wish the cases weren't so bad, I mean, I wish, obviously, but, I don't think there's anything in the actual job that I would change, because at least in Orange County, if you can't make it to a court meeting, all you have to do is write down what you would have said in court, and give it to them, and then someone else will talk about it for you, and they'll take care of the case and stuff. So they understand. They really try to work with you and take care of you as the guardian ad litem. They really try to respect you. So, I mean, there's really not much I would change about it.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay, that sounds good. What was your major in college?
In college, I was a business marketing major,
Okay.
so I had nothing to do with this. But I think in the back of my mind, I always wanted to help people.
Oh, okay.
So it was something that I wanted to do, and I thought that I could help people in marketing. I thought I could help people in business, but it didn't turn out that way. So I went to law school hoping to accomplish that. And so I think that's where I found myself in this volunteer area, where I was like, this is what I was looking for the whole time. So that's kind of how I ended up there.
Okay, so you don't need law school to do the volunteer, right?
Only in Orange County.
Oh,
In
okay.
Orange County, you need to go to law school and become an attorney. But after that, but in any other county, you don't have to go to law school.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you even need a bachelor's degree. So it's something that you want to look into.
Okay. Just a few more questions. Let's see. What are your career paths that led you to this job?
So we talked a little bit about, again, because I'm in Orange County, they require you to be an attorney to be a guardian ad litem. There are different avenues in which you could help out at the Legal Aid Society without having a legal degree. So if you were going to work in Seminole County, I'm not exactly sure what their requirements are, or in Osceola, or in Volusia, but you don't. From what I understand, you only have to be an attorney in Orange County.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, I already answered that question.
Sure.
I think that's it.
All right.
That's it.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, so let me
Just.